Ask anyone who is old enough to remember when star figure skater Nancy Kerrigan's right knee was struck with a blunt object, and they could tell you a million stories about the woman accused of being involved in the attack, former rival Tonya Harding. But how much could they tell you about what happened to Harding in the years since? Probably not a whole lot, as that's a name you only hear about once every 4 years when the Winter Olympics rolls around. What has the former U.S. national champion been up to in the years since her figure skating scandal captivated the world? Here's why you don't hear much from the disgraced athlete anymore. The Kerrigan scandal. Although Harding has maintained her innocence for more than 20 years, her alleged involvement in the 1994 attack on competitor Kerrigan and the media frenzy that followed devastated her career, especially once people involved in the conspiracy started to sing like birds about the grisly details of what her former husband had planned against Kerrigan.
They asked me if I would be willing to cut her Achilles tendon. I said no, I think that's a little drastic.
In July 1994, the U.S. Figure Skating Association voted to strip her of the gold medal she won at the U.S. National Championships and ban her for life from the association. That meant she could no longer compete in an event sanctioned by the federation or serve as a sanctioned coach. A few weeks later, Harding was hit with 3 years probation, a hefty fine, and a community service sentence after pleading guilty to conspiracy to hinder prosecution. The 4 remaining defendants accused in the act were each sentenced to prison, including her ex-husband, Jeff Gillooly, who received a 2-year sentence. By that point, one thing remained crystal clear: Harding's career as a figure skater was pretty much over. Consistently inconsistent. Even if you remove the drama from the Kerrigan attack, Harding's success on the ice, much like the media attention she so often attracted, was all over the place. It seemed every time she started to shine, something would happen to set her back from earning legendary status. Although she became the first American woman to land a triple axel at the 1991 U.S. National Championships, she finished a disappointing 4th place at the Winter Olympics in Albertville the following year. The same held true at the 1994 Olympics in Lillehammer, where she finished in 8th place after a disastrous performance that included drama over an alleged broken shoelace. Harding's personal drama was likely one of the main contributing factors to her erratic performances at both games. As her former coach Dodie Teachman put it, quote, "Her problems that she had off the ice sometimes would show up on the ice. She went from an abusive childhood to kind of an abusive relationship with Gillooly." Moving on. If you've ever wondered why Olympic athletes jump at the chance to make appearances and land endorsement deals so soon after their games have wrapped, it might have something to do with the fact that fame for Olympic athletes can be fleeting. By the time the 1998 Games in Nagano rolled around, people within the world of figure skating were worried far less about Kerrigan and Harding, and much more on whether U.S. skater Michelle Kwan would be able to keep the coveted gold medal out of the hands of the American rival Tara Lipinski. In other words, attention spans are short, even with the most dramatic of characters like Harding. Guilty in the court of public opinion. Maybe it's because she never served time in jail, or maybe it's because she always maintained her innocence, but to this day, a cloud of guilt hangs over Harding's reputation. Part of it surely has to do with the way the media told the story. Public opinion is also likely a factor. Harding's name will always be associated with scandal, and a certain group of people will always think she did it, and she's become the butt of many pop culture jokes.
Mission accomplished. I did him Tonya Harding style, with a cat and a
For what it's worth, Harding still thinks she was the victim because the press and Kerrigan herself weren't very kind to her in the fallout.
And for her to treat me like that, like I was nothing, like she was above me, I mean, that's rude.
A disastrous comeback. In 2002, Harding was one of a handful of low-grade celebrities who competed on the Fox reality series Celebrity Boxing. For her match, she battled and won against Paula Jones, the government employee who sued President Bill Clinton in 1994 for sexual harassment. That should give you a pretty good idea of what the quality of the show and the subsequent reviews were like. On the bright, if ironic side, Harding wound up competing in a number of professional boxing matches afterward. She finished with a 3-3 professional record, which isn't very good at all. Harding revealed that while pugilism wasn't a full-on secondary career for her, it did help to keep the lights on for a while. A low-key lifestyle. She may no longer be competing on the ice, but Harding seems to have found some peace and happiness by living a much quieter life. In 2010, she married Washington native Joseph Price. The following year, they had a son. She now resides in Oregon, where she's made ends meet by working on cars and doing landscaping work, and takes comfort in the fact that she still holds at least one positive piece of history.
It's part of history that will always be with us. But I'm also noted as the one and only American woman that did the first triple axel.
But her story lives on. Harding might now regard the scandal that plagued her career as a minor blemish in her life story, but it still remains prime fodder for explosive drama, which is why A-list actress Margot Robbie is set to play her in an upcoming biopic. This all goes to show, you may not see or hear much from Harding anymore, but you'll certainly continue hearing her story for years to come, and it'll probably revolve around the same narrative.
She's a princess and I'm a pile of crap.
Thanks for watching! Click the Nikki Swift icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.